Bill George is former CEO of Medtronic, as well as a senior fellow at Harvard Business School. He's also the author of True North, Emerging Leader Edition. Bill, great to have you on the show. Break this down for me. Elon Musk, I mean, he's a cult figure. He's an icon. You think he should be taking some stuff off of his plate right now?
Oh, absolutely. He finally admitted it today. He's running 3, or depending on your count, 5 companies. And he needs to get away from the cult idea of having a lot of charisma and hyping stock and get back to being a responsible CEO. He's got a huge responsibility at Tesla, and he's fooling around with Twitter. No one knows what his objective is in Twitter. We thought we knew in Tesla. He was all for climate change and SpaceX for exploring. And so I think he is really getting caught up in the charisma trap. And I'm very concerned about that. And I don't know how he's going to get back. I think right now, the first thing he should do is Twitter is falling apart. And I don't know who's going to run it, but he needs to get a CEO in there very quickly to run it for him, because there's not getting anyone left the way he's going. If you had planned a worse takeover attempt of a company, I don't think you could have topped what he did. This goes back to the old Time Warner for maybe a worse example. So he's got a lot to do.
He definitely has a lot to do, and certainly it remains to be seen how everything evolves at Twitter. And certainly we know some advertisers are pausing their spending on the platform right now. That being said, he has come out multiple times in recent days and said that there's more users on the platform than ever before, and that you're seeing records there. So there does seem to be some sort of engagement happening. He has also said that he doesn't plan, or at least back earlier in the year, he had said that he didn't plan to stay on as CEO permanently at Twitter. We saw John Legere, former CEO of T-Mobile, basically throw his hat in the ring, and that was kind of batted down. If it's not Elon Musk, who could actually take that job, Bill?
Well, that's a very good question. I'm sure that there are a lot of qualified people out there. I think he'd have to look for them. Somebody like Sheryl Sandberg could easily step into it if she wanted to and turn this place around, having left Facebook or Meta. So she's one person I would put up there, a very, very capable person. See, he's got to recognize that all his revenues come on from his advertisers. They are his customers, and he's turned them off, and he's going to turn off more of them if he doesn't do a quick turnaround.
Isn't this the difference, Bill, ultimately between a founder and an operator? They're very different skill sets, are they not?
Absolutely. They are, entrepreneurs. These are brilliant entrepreneurs. Musk is, I would say, the greatest inventor of our era, almost a Thomas Edison, Brian. But, it's very different than running companies. And how can you run 4 of them? I mean, why does he put CEOs in all of them and call it the Musk Holding Company and have a CEO of Tesla? Tesla is, lost $475 billion this year. This is a huge amount. Next to Facebook and Meta, they're the second largest loss of all time. So I think he's got a responsibility to his shareholders, which he doesn't seem to be focusing much on right now.
So let's talk a little bit about Meta. What would you advise happen at Meta where Zuckerberg is concerned?
Well, Zuckerberg seems tired. He's been there 19 years. I thought a year ago when he changed the name, he abandoned his core name, that he was really abandoning Facebook. And I think right now, number one, Mark needs to hire a CEO for Meta. And he can go be chair and chief creative officer and focus on virtual reality. The problem is he's spending $10 billion a year. That's got to come way down because no one knows when this is going to pay off. But someone's got to restore Facebook, Instagram, because it's going the wrong way. And if these people don't set some standards, both Musk and Zuckerberg, you're going to have forced government regulations. No one wants that, but they need to act as very responsible CEOs.
Yeah, just to play devil's advocate here a little bit, it seems like historically a premium has always been paid, at least from an investor standpoint, for a company that has been led by the founder, especially if the founder is seen as a visionary. And the flip side of that is, and I just look at Amazon and FedEx as recent examples, those are companies where the founders have stepped aside and, to Brian's point, operators have stepped in at the helm. Are you suggesting that we're entering more broadly, that we're entering an era, especially given the fact that it is a tight monetary environment right now, where the vision means less and there's less premium to be had from the founder?
I definitely think so. I mean, you had Bezos comment a few minutes ago. He's put Andy Jassy in charge. Look at what Tim Cook's doing at Apple. Look at what Satya Nadella is doing Microsoft. None of them are founders. Larry Ellison turned over Oracle to Safra Catz. And so, yeah, I think it's time that you get competent CEOs in running all of these two companies. And I think you're going to, three companies really, and you're going to be a lot better off. And look, the visionary founder can have great ideas about inventing, and they can be out still representing the public face of the company. But somebody's got to run the day-to-day. And yes, if we go into a recession, it's going to have to be tightening down, and somebody has to run the place, and they don't seem to be running it very well right now, any of them.
Bill George, thanks for joining us.